Hello, we are Team Mavericks. Lendalytics is an AI-driven lender that faced backlash for algorithmic bias against minority communities. We analyzed the data, tested for bias, and evaluated strategic options, including Dr. Okafor's fairness-first transformation, to chart an ethical path that rebuilds trust, reduces risk, and drives sustainable growth.
First matrix flags 3 risks of Meridian partners with Lendalytics. First, algorithmic bias. Approval rates are 74% for white borrowers versus 65% for black borrowers. A 9-point gap, and applicants from historically black colleges and universities remain disadvantaged even after the platform's fairness update. Second, regulatory and reputational exposure. CFPB consent orders and AI lending rose 32% last year. A single bias claim could unravel 8 decades worth of members' trusts. Third, financial fragility. Lendalytics share price has plunged from $390 to $17, and the company retains only 5% on loan risks, pushing potential defaults onto us. We recommend to pause any partnership until an independent audit certifies its bias-free models and the firm restores capital strength. Ignoring these warnings could lead to a CFBP investigation and costly litigations. Koki will now map the escalation using a decision tree analysis.
After finding a bias in Part A, Lendalytics got into a legal trouble with CFPB. We used decision tree to track their options. Finding a court have a 15% of chance of winning, could cost over $50 million and took up to 2 years. Fully agreeing the CFPB end things quickly, but cost over $100 million right away, and 25% risk of running out of the money. So the best choice was collaborate and negotiate. It has 85% chance of a good result and takes 6 to 12 months. We can say this is the most balanced way to track their crisis.
Now, under the new CEO leadership, we use scenario planning to explore Lendalytics options across 4 areas: innovation, expansion, competition, and regulation. We compared high-speed growth strategies to a more cautious, fairness-first approach. Hence, scenario A under responsible growth emerged as the most strategic path. It focuses on ethical AI via fair ML, expansion into fairness-aligned markets, brand distinction through fairness, and proactive compliance. Therefore, our final recommendation is to pursue scenario A. This approach balances growth with fairness, rebuilds trust, and positions Lendalytics as a leader in responsible AI lending.
Before, Lendalytics model led to unfair loan practices, especially harming minority-serving institutions. However, after they redid their business model and launched Fair Score with the elimination of proxy variables, their bias was significantly reduced, which can be proven by the default rates, regression line analysis, which shows that default rates actually decreased and stabilized after 2022. That's why we say that fairness doesn't hurt the business performance and provides a long-term sustainability for the business. And our recommendations for Lendalytics is to stay on this track and prioritize it over loan volume.
Now on to the industry and regulatory landscape assessment. The Lendalytics case has showed that AI-based lending is biased, thus harming underserved communities. This marks a shift in the fintech industry as companies can no longer chase growth at all costs. Regulations are increasing, which demands transparency, more audits, and longer development times. Psychological biases such as confirmation bias and anchoring is holding the public from gaining a positive image on AI lending. However, the future is bright as Lendalytics is collaborating with CPFB and open sourcing their tools, which is going to make the fintech industry a lot more responsible, fair, and ethical.
In summary, our responsible growth plan, built on a regulatory cooperation, fairness checks, and careful innovation, enables Lendalytics to recover quickly, rebuild trust, and lead in ethical AI lending by balancing speed, compliance, and equity. Thank you.